Chapter 6 Flashcards for Virology. Number 1. Epidemiological investigations that determine why and how an epidemic occurred in a given population. Analytical epidemiology. 2. A white blood cell that matures into memory cells and plasma cells that secrete antibodies. B cell. 3. A method containing infection in which an impenetrable object or surface is placed between the infected and the uninfected substance or body, e.g. gloves, masks, and gowns are worn during surgery to prevent the spread of infection. Barrier technique. 4. A standard of criteria used to identify which person has the infectious disease being studied. Case definition. 5. A process and experimentation in which two subject groups, one exposed to the tested factor, e.g. individuals suffering from a viral infection, and one not healthy uninfected individuals, are compared with each other. Case control method. 6. A process whereby an infectious agent leaves its reservoir host, is conveyed by some mode of transmission, and enters an appropriate portal of entry to infect a susceptible host. The practices used to control and prevent infections, e.g. proper sanitation, hand washing, and recognizing high-risk individuals. Chain of infection. 7. A type of epidemiological investigation in which two similar populations are studied and participants are grouped by common characteristics. Cohort method. 8. The time period when an infected individual or animal is contagious and can directly or indirectly infect another person, animal, or arthropod. Communicable period. 9. Identification and diagnosis of people who many have come into contact with an infected person. Strategy used to control small Ebola epidemics. Contact tracing. 10. A group of subjects resembling the treatment group in many demographic variables who are not subject to the treatment being tested. Control group. 11. The recovery period after an illness caused by a viral infection. Convalescence. 12. Epidemiological investigations that involve studying a cohort at one time point or a short period of time. Cross-sectional studies. 13. A type of research that is performed after the fact, used to generate a testable hypothesis or enough evidence to indicate sufficient cause for conducting lengthier and more costly analytical studies. Descriptive studies. 14. An unusually high number of cases in excess of normal expectation of a similar illness in a population, community, or region. Epidemic. 15. The study of how diseases affect whole communities, a scientific field linked to virology. Epidemiology. 16. The causes an infectious disease. Etiological agent. 17. An electronic information system used for monitoring, organizing, and visualizing reports of global disease outbreaks based on geography, time, and infectious disease agent. Health map. 18. A measurement of morbidity, the number of new cases of a disease that occurs in a specified period of time in a susceptible population. Incidence. 19. A condition in which bile seeps into the circulatory system, causing the skin complexion and whites of the eye to have a dull yellow color, symptom of hepatitis. Jaundice. 20. A sensitive method that allows for the nucleic acid detection of 20 to 30 different pathogens simultaneously in clinical samples. Mass tag PCR. 21. A popular theory of disease that originated in the Middle Ages and persisted for centuries, that this rose from swamps and decaying or putrid matter and caused diseases such as cholera. Miasma theory. 22. Pain in muscles. Myalgia. 23. A worldwide epidemic. Pandemic. 24. A microorganism or virus that causes disease in a host organism. Pathogen. 25. The ability of a disease-causing agent to gain entry to a host and bring about a physiological or anatomical change interpreted as disease. Pathogenicity. 26. A quarantine notice from a state's Board of Health posted on doors or windows when a household was placed under quarantine for communicable diseases such as measles, scarlet fever, smallpox, or whooping cough, used in the pre-vaccine era in the United States. Placard. 27. Epidemiological term applied to the measurement of morbidity, which refers to the number of cases existing in a population at a specified time. It takes into account new cases and those who contracted the disease in the past and are still surviving. Prevalence. 28. Epidemiological term describing the period or stage of an infectious disease that refers to the first appearance of mild or nonspecific signs and symptoms. Prodromal period. 29. Epidemiological studies using the cohort method that analyze cohorts, human subjects, forward in time. Prospective studies. 30. The segregation from the general population of healthy persons who are not ill but have been exposed to an individual who suffers from a communicable disease. Quarantine. 31. Use of instrumentation from a distance together observation data on areas of interest, such as using high-tech satellites to monitor environmental changes in entire regions, countries, and even continents, used to track infectious diseases with the goal of developing early warning systems. Remote sensing. 32. Describes disease outbreaks that have no pattern of occurrence in time or location, e.g., Ebola epidemics in Africa have been this. Sporadic. 33. The degree to which a pathogen is capable of causing a disease. Virulence.